Yo, we talking about groceries on FBA. Yo, easy. Yeah. J to the O, the Mayos. Groceries on FBA. What you know about that? Step your game up, suck it.
Hey everybody, welcome. Tonight we're joined by my good friend Christopher Grant, and he's made some great Chrome extensions. We're going to talk about the things he's done for tactical, as well as the stuff for tactical arbitrage. He's made some. If you do retail arbitrage, he's got a couple great tools that we're going to talk about tonight, and I think he might even have a couple little discounts for it. But if you're doing online arbitrage, I really wanted to start out by talking about the tactical arbitrage extension that really most people that I talk to aren't even using, and it's a great tool. There's other tools that are charging you $100 or more just to do what it does, and we're just going to jump right into it. And really what it's for is, if you're doing any kind of things with shoes or clothing, there's really no way to tell what's selling. There's some that we've looked at that have hundreds of variations in it, and you don't know which ones of those are selling. They're not all selling equally. Obviously, the size 3 isn't selling as well as the size 8 or 9, and half sizes, and you have wides, narrows, and triple wides and quadruple wides, and 50 different color variations. When you look at some of those Crocs out there, there's 300 or 400 different variations, and that's just on one listing, and you don't know what's selling. So you could have listings that have, for example, hundreds of variations, and one of them may not be selling at all. I've looked at listings that are in the hundreds, but you may have a shoe on there that is never selling, or it may have never sold. And you could have something that's 50 or 60,000, but there's only 2 or 3 variations on the listing, or no variations. And you're going to sell your shoe there a lot better than you are. So the tactical arbitrage, and we'll get into showing you how it works, but it basically is going to analyze all the reviews, because reviews are based on each individual variation. So if an item has a review, that's 30% of the total sales, you can assume that the sales are going to be 30%. But if it has no reviews and other variations have 100 reviews, then it's going to be a good guess that it's really not selling at all or very much, and you're not going to want to buy that. So it basically looks at the reviews and shows you what percentage of the total each variation has for reviews. And Chris, did you want to go over what your extensions do briefly, and we'll show everybody how they work in a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now I have 3. The newest one, of course, is StackUp, and that is, I like to call it a reverse Keepa. Keepa is the king when it comes to tracking price drops. But if you're selling groceries like Shawn does, or you're selling health and beauty where you have some replens and the price gets beaten down, Keepa is not really good at tracking that price up. So that's what we created StackUp to do, is to put in a price point that you want to be alerted at, and then once it hits that price point, then we let you know, so you can go out and buy it retail or online, whatever you're doing there. My favorite one is probably Rev ROI, the one that caused us the most headaches over the last week or so. But that one just helps you stack discount gift cards and cash back. And a lot of people use Ebates, and while they're everywhere, Ebates is not, they hardly ever pay the most. So what it does is it opens up your eyes to new places to get more cash back. And then it also finds you the deepest discount on gift cards that we can. And then finally, we've got the BrickSeek add-on, which BrickSeek is a pretty powerful online website that will allow you to look up stock in brick and mortar stores. And it is not always accurate, but that's because it's working with the information that Target and Walmart and Staples and all those places give them. But what the BrickSeek add-on will do is allow you to look in multiple locations. So I know a couple of guys who have sourcers in different areas of the state and even different areas of the country. And so they can have it go out and look at all the zip codes where their sourcing people are. And they'll be able to say, hey, there is probably some stock at this Walmart and this Target. Go hit those stores. And it will do the same thing for you if you're just one person in the 7 or 8 zip codes around you. And that's what we've got that are FBA related so far.
Yeah, that's great. And one thing that you didn't really cover is it pulls the data right from the site's databases. So what happens is if something gets damaged and they put it in the back, well, it hasn't been removed from inventory until they remove it from the inventory. So it looks like it's still there, and a lot of those don't tell you how much. Like Walmart, it basically says stuff is just running low. So that means there's only a handful there. And when it gets to that point, it may or may not be in stock. Somebody might have it in their shopping cart and have checked out by the time you got there. So there's a lot of things that, they'll say things may be in stock, but they're really not. And, that's why and if you go to each individual store's website, if you go to Walmart, if you go to the app and then search for the product and see what's near you, you're going to get the same information as you do using the extension, or just going to BrickSeek, directly. So it's all pulling from the same data. It's like if you use tactical arbitrage and see a lot of mismatches, well, it's because somebody listed something wrong 2 years ago when they listed it on Amazon. It's not the tool. Any tool that you use is going to have the same issues. But
exactly.
Really, it's just speeding it up so much. And how much is BrickSeek?
Everything right now is at $29.95. But if you use the code Miracle Whip, then you get $8 off, which is just a little over 20%, and that'll be good for the next 48 hours. So it'll knock everything down to $21.95. And on StackUp, rather than move it to an annual license like I was going to, since we have some extra cost there, I made that just a one-time for life fee for everybody here.
Right, and that's going to change if you don't buy it here. Obviously there's you're using Keepa's API, right, to pull the data?
Yes, that's correct.
Going on, so so you have to pay every time you access that data.
Yep, and it gets expensive after a while.
What's up, Big Alex in the house?
Nice.
So just like tactical arbitrage, just like Alex wants us to pay to access Keepa, Christopher does too with that extension. So the other ones, not so much, but with that, there's going to be a monthly fee at some point once he gets all the bugs worked out. So it's really in your best interest to pay for it now, and then the monthly subscribers are going to have to be covering those costs in the future. And we found a ton of stuff with it already. It's really a very simple thing. I made a ton of videos on doing Keepa's price drop software. So it's basically backwards of that. It's, Keepa's checking for the stuff that goes down, and you can set alerts. Well, you can set alerts now when the price goes up, and when you find all those great deals and the price is, you need to make 50% and it's making 45%. Well, now you're going to know when it's worth it, and you'll be able to just go and buy it. And you know, for $22 to use it forever is really a no-brainer. And you know, for all these tools, these are all one-time charges, right, Chris?
Yep, all one-time charges.
You know, so it really makes things easy. Now, if you're not doing retail arbitrage, then you may not need to use the BrickSync extension. I mean, we do a ton of retail arbitrage. I'm in Florida. I'm in Tampa, so you know, we source stuff here. I have a warehouse in Chicago that my assistant ships from there, so I can look for stuff in that area, and I have a ton of family all over the area that can go get stuff for me. You know, we're near Orlando and a ton of other bigger cities all around Florida. We source across the whole state. So, you know, it's great that we can just look for, you know, stuff. We want to look in Orlando. We can just change the zip code in the settings, and it's going to show us all the stock in all those areas.
Exactly. There's one question I wanted to hit. Jerry says, maybe a naive question, but do Chrome extensions ever conflict with each other? I've never had one of mine conflict with anything else, but I would imagine that it's possible if they're trying to do the same thing, but I've never had that issue myself.
There was one. I don't even remember what it was, but you know, if you have a bunch of stuff running on Amazon's page, it's really not conflicting because it's pulling that all in. And you know, I don't know. If I share my screen, you'll see I've got like 10 different things that pop up, all on the same screen. You know, Chris Green's new tool is on there, and the Keep His Own extension is there, and you know, whatever else. And I've got like 20 extensions installed, and you know, a bunch more that I disable and enable when I need them. But I've never really had any kind of problem. Usually, the only problems are like what Chris had, which was, you know, an issue on the server, and you see a pop up on your screen, and you know, that's it. So none of the extensions that everybody's using has any kind of conflicts at this time.
I have 34 running at the moment, and I've got no issues whatsoever. I will say for convenience sake, if I have two things that overlap each other, like there is an extension called, I think, DS Amazon View that offers rank, but then there's also the AMZ seller browser, and I like AMZ seller browser better, so I got rid of DS Amazon View because they both do the same thing. You know, but yeah, they still work together even though they did the exact same job.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I've had stuff that has duplicates, you know, showing on my Amazon page, and I just usually get rid of them. And you know, even if I see something that somebody else comes out with that's good, you know, I'll run them both, and you know, they're obviously doing the same thing, and you know, whichever one I like, I'll, you know, get rid of the other one. So was there a specific extension that you had a problem with, or were you just, you know, asking in general?
Jerry, that one's to you, man.
Will you list all your extensions? Okay, so as far as your Rev ROI, do you have a list of trusted gift card sites, or is it like just way too many to mention, or
there's
getting and sharing that information?
Yeah, so there's not really a way to say, hey, this is the list of gift card sites I have, because it honestly is always changing. So what we've done is I know of several places. I'm just going to be honest with everybody. This is stuff that you can do by hand, but the problem is that it's a pain in the rear end, and two, it's time consuming. So rather than going out to check Card Bear and Gift Card Wiki and Cashback Monitor and Gift Card Granny and all these other places, my software goes in and pulls them all at the same time and then sorts them by largest discount to smallest discount. And so those are always changing because Gift Card Granny may have, they might have Nike today, but they may not have Nike tomorrow, where Ray's does have Nike tomorrow. So, it's not really, I can't really say, hey, these are all the gift card sites I trust. We just kind of pull all the information and let everybody figure out what's good for them. I've never bought a gift card from any of the places that show up that have given me a problem. And when they have, I've always been able to get my money back, so I wouldn't be too worried there either.
I've never really had a problem with any, and I mean, we buy a ton. I really don't pay cash for anything. We go grocery shopping, I use gift cards. I go, to the restaurants to eat. We get gift cards. I give gift cards, the gifts to my employees, and of course, everything we buy for Amazon is a gift card. There's very few places that we can't get gift cards from. So, I do see people complaining, that they can't get a refund, and if you get a fraudulent gift card and there's nothing on it anymore, well, you're going to get a refund. Most of the complaints are, 12 hours later, I still haven't gotten a refund. So, the pros definitely are going to outweigh the cons in this. So, if you could save thousands of dollars over the course of a year, isn't it worth, if you happen to get a bad card, that you're going to have to open a couple support tickets and respond to some emails, but I think I've only had one bad card, and it was for $25, and that was it. And, I got a refund a couple days later and, had to start some trouble, and, it really was no trouble. And, so I see a lot of people that are afraid to do it, but, you're really going to save so much money in the long run, then that's definitely worth it. And not so much that you're saving money, but the impact to your ROI is just going to put you on another level from what everyone else is doing. Because, even if you're probably going to get 5% in cash back, and almost every store except maybe Walmart and a couple others, you're going to get at least 5%. So, let's say you're getting around 10% added off, so when you're in your 40s and you need 50% ROI, and most of your competition also needs 50% ROI, now they skipped it, or they filtered it out if they're using tactical arbitrage or whatever they're using for sourcing, and now that's something that meets your criteria, and all your competition isn't even looking at anymore. So it's going to give you a ton of stuff. Not only is your competition not going to look at it just because you're using a gift card and they're not, but now you're going to have a lot less competition on those products because you're going to be filtering out all those other sellers who don't do it. So Alex Moss was able to just join us for a few minutes and talk about his extension, and we're going to go over it. I talked about it for a minute, but it's always better to hear it right from the source. About how awesome it is. And we were just saying that, other tools are charging you $100 to do what you're giving to all the tactical arbitrage users for free. I would assume, everybody who I've ever spoken to uses tactical arbitrage, but if you're not, how much is it just for the extension, Alex?
The popular product extension is $4.95 a month for anybody who just wants to use that. Although tactical arbitrage members automatically get carte blanche use of that. And I came to the webinar a little late, so I don't know how much you covered with it, but essentially it allows you to look at products with variations. It scans reviews and extracts what variation was purchased alongside each review. So it is not a complete picture of the sales history of the product, but it certainly gives you a good indication of which sizes and colors sell well. So, you know, size 8 black shoe may have 37% of the reviews, whereas khaki shoe size 1 might have 0.1% of the reviews, and therefore you'd be wise to maybe avoid that particular variation. We're expanding on this. At the moment, if there's, you know, certain kitchen appliances that are like red, white, blue, for instance, it'll tell you which is the biggest selling kitchen appliance in that color. But we're expanding at the moment. We're breaking into all of the different kinds of products that have variations, and that might be whether it's a different packaging type. You know, the frustration-free packaging is a variation versus the non-frustration-free packaging. Other variations, such as in beauty products, there might be different sizes on the beauty product. So
cosmetics.
So we continually go in there and paint in a few more different types of variations, so that the extension itself has more usability. And we just recently sped it up, so it's like maybe 10 or 15 times faster than it was before, by looking at multiple pages of reviews simultaneously. So yeah, we recommend that you use it if you're into, particularly if you're into selling shoes and clothing, but it'll be more and more usable for other categories over time. So tomorrow you don't have the popular. So if you search, I can probably find your link. Popular products.
We have the link right here to the. Yeah, I got it right here for the Chrome extension.
Yeah. Yep. So that's probably all I really need to say on that. It's a cool little tool to give you the best case scenario of what kind of variation you should be looking to buy when. You know, as to what's going to most likely sell best on Amazon. And yeah, that's pretty much what the popular products variation tool does.
Yeah, and that's great. Okay, thanks a lot, Alex. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to show you exactly how that works. I did bring up we had a sample one. And if you log into your Tactical Arbitrage account, you can go up here to, I believe it's membership, and just move these screens. And the popular product analyzer is going to take you to this page. You can paste an ASIN right here. You don't even need to use the Chrome extension. Or you can click on this link, and it'll take you right to the page to install it. Of course, you got to do it in your Chrome. And that's what it looks like. And I'm going to show you on, I just have a sample up here. So you go to any page. I do have a ton of extensions. This probably doesn't look like what your screen does, but this is just a regular page. I just searched for shoes and pulled one up. And if we go up to the extension, click on it, and it's going to run for a couple seconds, and you actually see this screen first. You can click on Analyze All. Some of them I've looked at. I didn't want to analyze everything. This one only has 8 pages. That's why I selected it. But some of them, you know, I've looked at some Crocs that have like 200 pages of reviews. So you might not want to, I don't know how long that takes anymore. In the past, it took quite a while. But to do 8 pages, I mean, it really only takes a few seconds. As you can see here, and these are the results you're going to get. You're going to be able to download all this data as a CSV as well. I'm going to jump to the bottom first, which I think is the more important information. It's going to show you each individual size and color, but more importantly, it's going to show you each set of variations. So it's going to show you the color variation. It says the percentage of the reviews that were from black, from white, and from red, and then each individual size. And when you start looking at these more and more, you're going to see what the most popular sizes are. And this is information that's going to be important to you, not for specific shoes, but in your overall online sourcing in shoes. You really need to know what the most popular sizes are. So when you're looking at men's shoes, you know, pay attention to what the top ones are. you know, 9.5, 10, 8, 10.5, 8.5. You see there's a lot of half sizes that are selling. You know, also pay attention to what has no reviews. It shows that anything under 0.5% are removed because it's probably not important anyway. But you know, this is taking you all the way down to 2 reviews. So if it has less than 2 reviews, it's not really a good judge. But we can see everything. There's only 4 styles here that are over 10% for the overall sizes, and these aren't even individual variations. This size, this is showing you all the 9.5s that are in all 3 color variations. So the 7 that only has 2 reviews, it only has 2 reviews for this size in 3 different colors. So this isn't something that I'm probably going to want to buy. But these that have over 10% are definitely going to be shoes that we want, and we can go look up at the top and we can see each individual color and size. So we can see that actually the top selling one is a black 9.5, but look at all the top ones. Nobody cares about the red or whites. You know, you look at this black, 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 you know, but if you were sourcing this somewhere, you know, you may have wanted to look at the whites, or the reds, but, you know, here we can see that there are a couple of reviews, but I mean, we're talking about what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 reviews that aren't for black, and the rest of the 8 pages are all from black. So we want to look at black. We want to look at these sizes, and as you look, you're going to see a lot of this for men's shoes. These are the sizes you want. And if you don't know about men's shoes, you know, if you're not, you know, if you've been buying shoes all your life, you still don't know what the most popular sizes that other people want, you know what size you're going to buy. But even looking at this one shoe, you can gain a ton of information about, you know, selling shoes on Amazon or and any other marketplace that nobody, you know, nobody probably told you. Until I started looking at tools like this, I didn't know what the most popular sizes were. But this one is a good judge of the overall, you know, purchasing on Amazon. Sorry, so each one that you look at is going to give you different information. But like I said, it's $5 a month, even if you don't have tactical arbitrage. And you can, even if you don't have it, you don't have to pay. You can use it 3 times a day for free. You may not need more than that, you know, if you're really on a tight budget. But of course, if you have tactical arbitrage, it's just another thing that's included. And if you have some ASINs, you can just, you don't even have to go to the pages. You can punch them in, as we already showed you. So this is a great tool that, you know, they basically just give you, Alex gives you for free just for using tactical arbitrage. And, you know, once again, if you're looking at these reviews, you know, this is close, but this isn't showing you exactly what's going on as far as sales. This is just showing you reviews. So this, you know, this shoe hasn't had only 16 sales. It's only had 16 reviews. But if you have 16 reviews, you probably have about 100 sales. But, you know, the percentages are going to be really close, and this is the best anybody's come up with. Anybody that's showing you, you know, items with variations, clothing or shoes, this is how they're doing it. This is the only way to get even close to good information. So all the tools out there are, you know, looking at the same information, whether they're telling you or not. But just another great thing to use with tactical arbitrage.
I've actually got a question before Alex has to go away, or Shawn, you may know the answer. And I don't know why I haven't thought to ask this before, but let's say that you've got something with, you know, 400 or 500 pages of reviews. Is there a sweet spot to how deep we should go?
Well, what you should consider is that the product page itself may have changed over time. So it may have originally only had 3 colors on that particular page, and then other sellers or Amazon has added the other variations. So the really early stuff is less likely to paint the complete picture. That said, I still like to scan a sizable chunk of it. You know, I'll look at 100 pages. If there's 500 pages there, I'll look at 100, 200 pages of that, and I feel like I'm digging into a nice cross section. We actually grabbed the results from the most recent to the least recent one. So by scanning just one page, you're actually seeing the most recent 10 reviews. So yeah, I mean, if there's 1,000 there, 1,000 pages there, you can walk away from and do all 1,000. It's not going to take too long these days. It'll take a little while. But if you want a quicker guideline, then maybe just 100 pages or so. It's going to give you a really good look at what's happening recently.
Awesome. And just before I stop sharing, this is what the CSV you download looks like. It's all the same information. It's going to give you the links to you know, the individual pages and the ASINs and, you know, all the information you need if you want to save it. Basically, all of them are going to be this size because, you know, it's going to have one for each one. So each variation you'll have there. And that's about it for that. It's a pretty simple tool. You know, it took a lot to go into it, but on your end, it's pretty easy to do. Mark wanted to know what extension I was using with 1% higher and lower. That's Chris Green's new extension. I'm not even sure if he's come out with that yet, but I'm sure you'll be hearing about it as soon as it's released.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on there. I appreciate you taking the time to include me in your webinar. I didn't mean to crash the party, but thanks for having me. And I'll extract myself as a panelist, and I'll hover around in the background for a while and check in later. Cheers.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. Yeah, flipping it. Sorry. Okay, he has released. I wasn't sure about that. Is it faster to use the Chrome extension or the program inside of Tactical Arbitrage? Martha said, and it's really going to run the same way. They're both connecting to the server. If you already have the ASIN, I would say it's faster just to plug it into that page, or if you have multiple ones, because if you do it through the extension, you're actually going to have to search for that page and go there. So, you know, it's however you're pulling that data. But if you're doing it while you're searching, then you definitely just want to hit that extension because it's going to pop up right on the screen. All right, so let's move on to Chris's extensions. I think we got just about everything. Gary said he couldn't find his link for Rev ROI. You can find anything you've ever bought on Gumroad. Just go to gumroad.com/library, and you know, any list you've bought, any of my lists, anything from Chris or anybody else, it's all going to be there. Everything you've ever bought. It's just gumroad.com/library. So, Chris, you want to share your screen and show us how we do, how you use Rev ROI? It's really simple. It's put everything together in one spot. You know,
absolutely.
Still people who aren't using it, and you know, it's going to put, you know, so you're not going to have to go and search for, you know, the cashback site and the gift card site, and you know, maybe even multiple ones, and coupons. Well,
yeah, we did add coupons. We don't. I don't talk about coupons too much, but they are there. And let me go ahead and share my screen, and I'll take a second. And I'll show everybody how everything works a little bit. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. So what I've done here is Staples is loading. Walmart's loading. And let's pull up Target as well. So once you can either do this from the home screen of Walmart. You can do it each time you are on a product page. It doesn't matter. But if you just click on the Rev ROI extension, it's faster than this. It's sped up a lot since we've moved it over to an Amazon server. It was a headache, and I know people were getting a little irritated with me, but being forced to move that to an Amazon server was probably the best decision I've ever made. It's made it a whole lot faster, and it would be faster if we weren't sharing screens now. But what we can see with Walmart is if you use swag bucks, you can get 7% cash back right now. I've never used them. I will go over here to Top Cash Back, and I would use them, not because swag bucks isn't any good, but because this shows you so many that I try to pick 2 or 3 and kind of stick to those. That way I don't have $2 here and $2 there, and I try to keep it, $50 from Top Cash Back and $100 from You Promise and $50 from Ebates and those kind of things. And then as soon as you find one of these, what I would do is you should just click on that, click on the Top Cash Back, and it is going to take you directly to the screen that will allow you to then get back into Walmart and go shopping. People have asked me if I'm Cashback Monitor. I'm not. That is another. It's one of the many websites that we pull data from. So I don't make any kickback from you guys using cashback sites or buying gift cards or anything like that. Now, once you've gotten in there and you've got your cashback activated, the other thing that I suggest is you go back into RevROI, and we're working on having this stay open. So in the next few weeks, you'll be able to go to another tab and come back, and this will stay open for you. And if you click on Discount Gift Card or Discount GC, what you're going to see is Raise is at 3.2%, which is, unless there's a sale or, Jupiter and Venus are aligned just right, that's about as good as it's going to get. But you'll see that Savia is right there as well, and then Cardpool is just below them. So you can pick your favorite there and just click through, and you'll be able to go right to the screen that allows you to buy gift cards, and then you just buy whatever you need. Use the e-gift, or if you have to wait for them to be mailed, you can do that as well. But try to find these e-gift or printable vouchers. That way you can use them as soon as possible. And then the third thing that you can do is if you click RevROI one more time, you can actually hit coupons. And what we did is we pulled in all of the coupons from one of the feeds. We'll click on it here and I'll tell you. Oh, yeah. So actually it pulls from every single different website. So what this does is it just shows you where things are being discounted, and also if there are any particular coupon codes at the time, and that will pull them up for you automatically. So what this pulled that there is electronics clearance that's up to 85% off that you can go in and start searching for online arbitrage if you would like. And then just so you see this isn't anecdotal, let's go ahead and hit Staples really quick. And what we can see is the exact same thing. It works the same over and over again. The Staples, you're looking at 5% cash back. And then with Raise, we can get 4.3%. And what you're going to notice after you use this more and more often is you're going to kind of get a feel for who is best at what. That way you're not, using a ton of different cashback sites and gift card sites, and you know who's good and who's not, if there are any that don't work for you. Coupons work everywhere as well. We can see that they've got 70% off some of their weekly tech deals and 40% off some of their Post-it notes. So this isn't just good for online arbitrage. This is good for anything that you shop for. If you're, I do my grocery shopping online with Kroger. So we use this for grocery shopping. We use it for everything, honestly. So that is as simple as RevROI gets. And over the next couple of weeks, after we're finished with a couple other projects, we're going to come back and focus on this and try to make it even better.
Awesome. So it only show. Is there a for the coupons? How is it? Not how is it pulling it, but is it always going to show like the best 6 or 8 or whatever displays on the screen?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
How does it know what to? I mean, show you. So it's going to show you like whatever is here, the best 7.
Yeah, it'll normally show you like sometimes there might be up to 10 in here, but typically it's going to show you the best, 6 or 7 coupons that we find from all over the place on the internet. And Gary, I've got your email. I will get in there and I'll get you the link that you need for Rev ROI. I meant to do that earlier and just got a few things that tied me up.
Awesome. And while we're still on online arbitrage, let's talk about StackUp, which is your newest tool. And we talked about it a little bit earlier, but when you show us how exactly it works, I mean, it's super simple. But basically, you just go to any Amazon page that you want to know when the price is going to go up, and click the little button.
I especially like this for grocery items. I'll tell you what we'll look up here. Hershey baking powder. I know that, and Shawn knows better than me, that pretty soon Hershey baking powder is probably going to go up in price because everybody and their sister is going to be buying it.
Definitely.
And that's just the nature of the game. So what we can see here is this is the subscribe and save, but it's not pantry. So if we go into this screen right here, and it doesn't matter whether you are on the subscribe and save or the one-time purchase, what this does is StackUp is going to pull the ASIN. This is going to speed up over the next couple of weeks as well because we're going to move this to a faster Amazon server. And so it's going to pull the item name, it's going to pull the ASIN, and then what I want to do is I know that I can go and get this stuff for, I think, $2 at Kroger. And so at $8.99, you're probably breaking even, maybe losing a couple of pennies. But I know that at $12, I'll be able to make money. And I don't know, I've sold this in the past, and I think it'll get to $12 like right before Thanksgiving and then come up on Christmas. So what you're going to do is type in your name, type in your email address, hit submit, and it's going to let you know that we got a notification request for you. And as soon as this hits $12, we check it once an hour on the hour, which is where our Keepa costs come in. As soon as it hits $12, you will get an email so that you can go out and buy it, or if you have it in your house and you're just waiting for it to get to the right price, you can go ahead and ship it in. And that's as simple as it is.
Do you only get notified the one time, or will you continue to get notified?
You will continue to get notified. So if the price drops back down and then goes back up, it will tell you again. So the idea behind that was I knew that people were going to be worried purchasing this, thinking that I might be able to see things on the back end. So I made it completely blind. I can't get into it. My developer can't get into it. That way we're not able to pull any of the data out, which means that we can't go in and clear any of the data. And you can't get a list of what you have because it goes into what I call a locked vault, and nobody can ever see it once it gets in there.
So you're going to be continuing to get contacted forever.
Yeah, for right now. I'm trying to figure out a way around that without breaching anyone's trust. And me and my developer just have not figured that out quite yet.
Awesome. Still, I don't know why you would want to not be notified of things like that. And, this is a great product. These Hershey's Cocos, I've been selling these for many years. I'm not selling them right now. It's just not worth it at $8.99. But if you don't know, baking products are about to, be your best friend, or they should be if you're selling in grocery, which we sell a ton. You really need to be, looking at this stuff. The baking aisle, if you're going to Walmart, the end cap, they have a whole thing for holiday baking stuff, and people buy all that stuff from flour to baking powder, baking sodas, chocolate, the little chocolate cups, all that stuff people are going to be buying. People bake like crazy, from now till Christmas time, baking for the grandkids and whatever else they do with the stuff. The stuff flies off the shelves and the ranks shoot down, and it's really something you want to be looking at. I mean, everybody's been talking about this. I've seen people posting in groups, about my registers full. This might not be the best product to be buying right now. But when people share products, don't worry about the item they're sharing. Look at the kind of things that they're buying. If people are talking about chocolate, well, it's a baking product. Look at all the other baking products, that nobody shared, because most people are going to just look at the path of least resistance, which is going to be what somebody posts on Facebook. They go out and buy it, and that's it. But you should be looking at everything to do with that product and not just that product. You should be ignoring that exact item because everybody else is going to be buying it. But, there's a ton of stuff that, goes around this, that's in this whole genre. So, just look at whatever niche that, people are talking about, and try and find what else that people are going to be doing with this.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the hugest thing. When it comes to the holidays, outside of toys, I could spend hours just going down the baking aisles at Walmart and Target and all the other places, and you can pay for Christmas with groceries.
Oh yeah, of course. We sell a ton of that. And this stuff sells all year, but as you can see, it goes down. Amazon, I think, is selling it right now, but they're going to sell out of it. They do every year. And, if you look, there's a ton of listings. This isn't the only listing for this. There's a bunch of different listings. There's multi-packs. There's the natural unsweetened. There's dark chocolate. There's a special dark. There's multiple sizes of it. I mean, you might want to just buy it on Prime Pantry for $2.82 right now, because, that's really a good price. I mean, it's already $600 in Prime Pantry, so that's going to be a hot seller. And of course, and especially with baking stuff, they may need 2 or 3 ingredients. People aren't filling up a whole box for Prime Pantry, unless it's something they're running out of and replenishing. Right. So there's 6 packs. There's, I mean, here's a 2-pack that's, $23. And I mean, there may not even be any on Prime.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 150,000 right now, but I mean, even at 150,000, I mean, it's selling. Look at that graph. It's going up and down like crazy, even at that price. That's a bigger container. So, I mean, it might be $5 a piece. You might have $10 in it. But if it's no Prime, you're still going to be selling it for more than that. And, I mean, you can see it's, it's selling.
Since we're talking groceries, I'll tell you one of the things that Shawn taught me that I don't think enough people pay attention to is, everybody's like, oh, well, I won't touch anything above 100,000 in grocery. Get that out of your mind. Use the data. Look at the charts and buy things that I've bought groceries that are 250,000 rank when I buy them, and then I end up selling out of them within a month because there's only one other seller, and they're not Prime, and I come in and I'm Prime, and people just buy it. So yeah, look a little bit deeper than 50,000 or 100,000 in grocery, because there's a whole lot of money to be made over top of that.
Yeah, there's a replay. There's a replay of everything that we do. We'll be emailing it out to everybody who signed up. So, yeah, one of the most important things, and this doesn't just apply to grocery, but what you should be looking at is every single item that doesn't have an FBA seller, you should be selling. If you find something, earlier in the year we were at Ross. I like to shop at Ross a lot, and or to source there. And we sell actually quite a few comforters and backpacks and purses from there. But we sold something that the rank was 700,000 in home, and it was those big comforters, and it cost about $60, but we sold it for like $280 some dollars. And it wasn't at the warehouse for an hour, but there was no FBA sellers. There was a couple merchant fulfilled sellers that had them for like $189, and I would say as soon as it got there, it sold. I mean, it was probably hours. I mean, I noticed it, that evening, but and this applies to everything. We sell a ton of, they got all those name brand purses from the previous year that, have been listed. Now, I'm not saying buy stuff that have no rank, because, millions of items get listed every day. The Amazon catalog grows by 20% every month. And most of those products are items that have never sold and will never sell. So I'm not saying buy stuff that doesn't have a rank, but if it has a rank, it means it's sold. If there's no FBA sellers, if it's sold once, there's probably another buyer for it. So don't jump over those items that have no FBA sellers. And the other thing I want to say is that people pay a premium for your service. Don't act like you're on Etsy or eBay or at a garage sale anymore. You're a professional seller on the world's largest consumer marketplace, and act like that. Use materials that match that. Put things in Ziploc bags. Don't use Saran wrap to wrap your stuff up. Use poly bags. Use good bags that look professional. Don't send any crap, and act like you're a premium seller. People are paying $100 a year for nothing else than the ability to be able to buy from you. That's all they're paying for. They're paying for 2-day shipping, hassle-free returns, and they're going to pay more money for a better experience. It's just like, I go to Disney World, and I can stay at any hotel I want in the area for $20 or $30 a night, but I'll stay there on property because I want that experience for $200, $300, $400. There's rooms there that are $4,000 a night, and people pay for that experience. They don't want to have to get up and drive there. They want to be able to hop on a boat or hop on a bus, and you walk in the door and people say welcome home, and you get treated a different way than you do by going to the Motel 6. And Amazon is exactly the same thing. People go there for that premium experience. Okay, I bought a pair of shoes, I tried it on, I didn't like it, I can send it back, and nobody's going to argue with me. Nobody's going to give me any trouble. If you don't like it, you send it back. And that's part of the experience that people get, and they're not afraid to pay more money. They're giving you they're giving Amazon $100 a year, and they're giving you more money. If you see something for $10, don't be afraid to sell it for 14 or 15 if it's merchant fulfilled and you're going to sell it FBA, because people will pay it. People are happy to pay that because they're getting that premium experience. They're buying from Amazon, Amazon's shipping to them, and don't sell yourself short. Never add less than 20% if you're only competing with a merchant fulfilled seller. That's all I got to say about that. We're already at an hour in, so if anybody has any questions, now is the time. I believe we had a few in the Q&A still. Are there any extensions similar to Rev ROI that does promotions, i.e. buy one, get one 50% off or free? I think Rev ROI is going to share that same information, right? Even if it's buy one get one free.
Yeah, if there's a buy one get one free, it should show up in the coupons section. Like I said, we pull from a couple of those. I can't think of the name of the most famous one right now, but we pull from a couple of those coupon sites, and I'll put it into one place, the best ones at least. And so if there's, like if we went to Target right now, it should show you the 50% off the toy of the day, and that should be right there on the screen for you to see. And you do the same thing for buy one get ones.
Awesome. And Deborah had a question I was going to save until the end, that she's not been able to purchase from a gift card site as she's in Canada. I've not been able to find a Canadian site yet. I don't know of any Canadian sites, but basically what everybody's doing, the international sellers, is you basically sign up for a virtual office. There's hundreds of sites out there. They'll basically you get a virtual address and you get a bank here, and that's what all the foreign people, Alex Moss included. I don't think he really messes with the gift cards, but that's how you set up your business for the for a U.S. I believe in Canada you can still set up a U.S. account on Amazon, but people from other countries, that's what they've had to do. So that's what I would suggest. You can get a U.S. bank account, then you have a U.S. debit card and a U.S. address, and you're able to order whatever you want. Since you're getting it all digitally, you don't even need to worry about the address, but you'll have all that U.S. information. It doesn't cost a whole lot. I know getting the virtual address is pretty cheap. I know some people are paying $20, $30 a month. I know there's some that are, I've seen some that are less than $10 a month. So, and then you just have to set up your bank account, which I don't think there's a whole lot to that. And there's some that just cater to international people who need a U.S. bank account. So there's a lot of options out there. I'm in the U.S., so I really haven't done a whole lot of research on that. And we don't really have clients from other countries, but the information's out there. If you just Google it, I'm sure you'll be able to find that information.
Yeah, I actually just Googled it while Shawn was talking, and there's right at the top of Google, there's places for $9.99 a month, $7.98 a month that are all really easy to get. In Canada, it should be a heck of a lot easier than I know. So a funny story: when Alex and I were in Las Vegas for ASD, we made a special trip to Best Buy kiosk at the airport because he had a Best Buy gift card that he needed to spend. And it's a little harder, like in the UK, you've got to sometimes use Bitcoin and all kinds of things, but it should be really easy from Canada.
Definitely. And we're going to go ahead and share the links one more time. I see there's a couple people who asked for that. Okay, so I guess I was sending that to somebody. Okay. So there's all the links to buy all three extensions, StackUp, BrickSeek, Rev ROI. They're all $21 when you use this code. Miracle Whip, one word. You learn how to spell. And that's going to work for about 48 hours before he shuts it off. So if you're watching the replay, not going to work. I'll send an email out. The How Many extension was not made by Chris. It's actually Mark Crawford made that. And there's now I believe I do have a link for that. I think it just went up in price to $14.95, but there's also he just released an app for it for iOS, but you do have to be subscribed to it to be able to use the app.
Mm-hmm. It's slick looking.
Yeah, he showed it to me. I seen him at the conference in Chicago. He showed it to me, like a beta, what it looked like, but I haven't had a chance to try it out yet. And I believe you can just go to howmany.com and get that.
Yeah, it's. I'll tell you what. Yeah, it's howmanyextension.com, I think.
Is that what it is? I thought
Yeah.
I do have a link for it, but yeah, there it is. Okay, so that, one other thing I wanted to tell you guys about, I think we're going to be releasing a brand new, if you're using tactical arbitrage, it'll be especially useful. Any kind of sourcing that you're going to be doing, I think it'll be really useful for. I did post in a couple groups about it, but it's going to be a beta, and I'll send out an email to everybody in the webinar because we don't really have anything set up, but it's, if you're using tactical arbitrage or doing online, any kind of online sourcing, this is going to be great. We're going to be doing a basically like a little newsletter every day that's going to, what we've done is subscribe to every single website that tactical arbitrage supports. So we get all their emails and, we process those and see what, most of them are not really useful, and, it's a lot of work. But we're going to be doing a little beta test for about $20 a month, and you'll get an email every day, and it's going to have all the information, that we find useful. So best places to get for the cash back, to use for gift cards, all the sites that, we found that there's discounts, and there's a ton of information, sorry. So what the deals are, the name of the store, when the deal starts, when they expire, the link to whatever promotion they're doing, the cashback and the discount gift cards. And if we've done any kind of list for it, we're going to give you that as well. And, basically, it's not going to be every store that they support. We're only going to share, what is worthwhile. So I'm just looking at the list right now, and like Dickies has 25% off on all jeans, and let's see, Academy Sports has 75% off on all the clearance items, and I've got about 30 that I'm looking at. So we go and process each one of these. When there's a motorcycle, when they have some motorcycle helmets that are on sale for $199, that's not information you want. And for you to hire somebody, obviously you can't pay them $5 a week to go through hundreds of emails a day. So we're already doing that, and we're going to be putting out a newsletter. We're going to try beta testing it, see what people think about it. I'm going to start it. I'm going to do it for about $20. If there's enough interest in it, we'll try it out for a couple months and see, if people find value. If not, we'll end it, and that'll be that. If there is, we'll probably end up raising the price. So, when I send out the email, I'll give you the information on signing up for that. If you're interested, but we're going to do it for $20 for now. And hopefully it does well, because I've been doing this myself for months. I have one of my employees that spends half the day every day putting this information together, for us. So it's basically, we're going to be sharing it with you as well. So if you think that's something that could bring you value, to know every day what stores are having promotions for that day, and when they sometimes it's for a week, sometimes it's for a weekend, sometimes it's just that day that they're doing the deals. But if you want to know what stores have 20% off here, and free shipping, or 30% off store wide, or whatever in this category, and then you can go there and run your bulk list for that store, because you're already getting another 20% off. And people and most of these are just if you're on their mailing list. So, again, it's just like Chris's extensions. It's something that you could go do yourself, but how much time is it going to take? I'm telling you, it took many days. It may have taken a whole week working all day long just to sign up for mailing lists, for over 300 stores, and then, have to approve them. And now every day we have to go through and look at them. So, for the equivalent of $5 a week, basically $1 a day, you're not going to be able to do it. It's not going to be worth it for you or to even hire somebody when we can put all that information together for you. So, so that's something that, you can find value in, then we'd love for you to help us out. We're looking for beta testers. So, if you see something wrong, don't just get mad and cancel, which I'm okay if you cancel, but not because we're doing something wrong. So the point of a beta is, to improve and create a workable product. So, if you want to get that 50% off discount or whatever it's going to be based on the full product, then, I'd really like you to come in and, subscribe to the list. And if there's any problems, please give us feedback, and, it's not, this sucks, tell me what's wrong, or if there's a way to improve it, it's going to make it better for everybody, and create a good product that everybody can make money on. And, if you're just looking at, before I wrap it up again, sorry, but if you're looking at, if you're just going to Walmart or just going to Target, or if you bought my list for Walmart and that's all you source at, then, you're doing yourself a big injustice, because a lot of people are looking at those sites. They're using tactical arbitrage or they're not. People are still looking at Walmart. People are still looking at Target, and there's nothing wrong with them, because every time I do a scan on a few hundred categories at Walmart, I still find hundreds and hundreds of good products. But, if you're not looking at all those other stores, then, you're doing yourself an injustice. So, if we can help you and show you what stores, have the best deals and are offering discounts, and, hopefully you'll let me do that.
I'm in.
So Zena, sorry, Zena just asked us, still can't find the list for $12.99. I just found the Q&Q. We just posted all the links for, I don't know if you're talking about Chris's extensions, but we just posted all of those, and they're $21.99. Or Zena, you can post in the chat or let me know. So great, shut up and take my money. Great, Mike. Hopefully that can, it's great. And I'm telling you, it's been working for me. I don't make myself a newsletter, obviously. I'm gonna make it look pretty for you guys and give you a little bit more information, but it's working for us. We've been doing it for. I'm just gonna give a quick screen share, and basically. You can see my screen, right? So
yep.
Basically, I mean, these are all the ones that are like currently. We delete them when they expire. So there might be some stuff that like ended yesterday, but you can see these are all deals. And look, 30% off, 20% off, up to 50% off on designer brands. And most of this stuff, if you go to these websites right now, you don't see it. Because it's only by using the link they give you or using a promo code at checkout. Some of them will promote it on their sites, but most of them, it's only for their email subscribers. So, you're buying this stuff already, and you may not even know about the discounts. We weren't. And I said, well, and I'm telling you, every site has one. We subscribe to every single site the Tactical Arbitrage supports in the U.S. And every single one of them had an email sign up. Stop share. So, there's 30 some on there right now. And, some days, there might be, 5, and some days there might be 50, but, it's usually around 20 to 40 that are active. And those are the sites we look at, because we want the ones that we're getting an extra 20% off or 15% off or however much it is, it all adds up. I mean, even if you're getting 5% off, which usually doesn't happen, but if you get 5% off and then you get, that's before the gift cards, then, after you check out, you're going to get another 10% off, and then you get 5% off from a cashback site. If other people aren't using that, you're getting 30, 40% off sometimes or more. If you're going to Kohl's, you might be getting 50 or 60% off with all the discounts they give you. So if you're not using that stuff, you might be finding 30% of what the guy who is using that stuff is using, is getting for discounts. So, you know, you have to use discounts to compete. And with that, I'm going to wrap it up. We'll talk to you guys later. Any questions, just send Chris a PM, send me one, post in Tactical Arbitrage, my groups, whatever. And I did see some questions about my videos. Every TA video I've ever made is on my website. You can sign up for free, ShawnMayo.com. We have a ton, way too much information that I should be giving away for free. ShawnMayo.com, you can see every TA video I've ever done, and it's all in a course in order, and looks all nice and pretty. And is there a way to see your videos, Chris? Or
yeah, absolutely. You can. The best way would probably be, like, if you want tactical arbitrage videos, go to cleartheshelf.com, and I've got a blog post that's about 5,000 words long now with videos of every feature, and then I update it every time a new one comes out. So
awesome. Cleartheshelf.com, and we'll see you guys later. I'll put all those links in the email when we send you the replay. And thanks a lot for watching. Good night.
Thanks, Shawn.